Welcome to another episode of, I don't even know what the name of this episode is. What's this episode, Travis?
Building your network.
Agents, building a strong network. We're going to talk about how the agents build a strong network. Good topic.
Overlooked topic.
You're actually right. It actually is one of the things that is overlooked and people don't pay a lot of attention to it. But a reason why. Why is this important?
Well, I mean, you need all sorts of avenues for your business, and people overlook the network.
Exactly.
And what do we like best? We like referrals.
Exactly. That's probably one of the biggest things that's overlooked, and probably one of the easiest ways to generate business. If you're trying to put one of those lines in the water of how can I develop a network with people from outside the area as far as my fellow agents and things like that, often overlooked, often no one pays attention to it, which means great opportunity to grow a good network or a big network. And I've seen it done right, and I've seen it done, I don't want to say wrong, but everywhere in between. So let's talk about it. Let's get started. First thing we want to do when we're trying to build a network,
keep track of your network.
So I was going to go, sorry, Travis is not a mind reader.
This is impromptu.
Travis is not a mind reader. I was going to go with attend industry events.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
Attending events in our industry is probably one of the easiest ways for me to develop a relationship with people that I don't know.
Correct.
So,
and you can go far and wide. I was thinking about this because with RE/MAX, you're in a pretty phenomenal network to begin with.
Correct.
So you're going to get opportunities simply by being part of the network. But even as big of a network and powerful as it is, there's so many others that you can tap into.
Absolutely.
So, we're talking about brand names. We're talking about coaching. We're talking about, you can even go to the CAR events, whatever they might be.
Correct.
All sorts of people you can be involved with.
CAR has annual events. National associations have annual events. Our big go-to coaches in this area. Buffini's big, obviously. The Mike Ferries, the Tom Ferries. Any one of those. If you're with one of the brand names in real estate, they usually tend to have annual events as well. So that's always a great place to start, and meeting people from different areas, different communities around the world to be able to develop those relationships with them.
Correct.
So first thing is boom, getting to that particular spot so that you can actually get the belly to belly or have that conversation. And I like to say, here's, when I see these things happening, one of the things that I tend to see happen too often is we get all excited. We're going to go to one of these events. I've got my stack of business cards and I've got my whatever, if I'm giving away tchotchkes or whatever to draw attention to myself. And everybody is happy at that event, but then the event ends and it's like everything else. It's like that waterfall event. Yeah. Boom. Okay, I met you once, and agents think that they're finished, and really that's just the beginning. It's what happens after that, and what is it that you're doing to develop those relationships, staying in touch with them. And I think that's where a lot of people miss it and don't pay attention to it. One of the other ways that we're going to talk about, and this leads right into it, social media. So I meet you at an event, connect with you. What are you online? If I'm online on Facebook and Instagram, and finding out what you're online on and making sure I'm connecting with you and starting those conversations there, paying attention and developing that relationship and creating a stronger bond there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I don't want to put them down, but a lot of people who have these huge stacks of cards, and as people are walking by, they're handing them out, and I'm sure there's some value to that, and they're probably getting some opportunity. But yeah, it's in the creating that relationship.
Absolutely.
Not simply putting out a card so you call someone just because you have a need. And so putting them together, being on social media, whatever other way you have to be in contact over a long period of time.
And you brought up the point. If I was talking to my coach right now, I know one of the words that he would be saying, and you've heard this before, all the money's in the follow-up. All the money's in the follow-ups. No difference in this particular situation. It's how are you developing those relationships and following up with those people after you've met them.
Yeah, I mean, it's like farming anybody, right? So you definitely want to develop a relationship with a relationship. So, hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you. You get back to the office, send a note. Hey, it was really nice meeting you. Glad to have you part of my network. I mean, you could die off right there too,
right?
So you got to really have a plan for it.
Absolutely.
Got to have that database. You've got to have them all in there and sending out information on a regular basis.
So another way, be a thought leader in the industry. Do what we're doing right now. Create a podcast.
Yeah.
Invite those people on. Have those conversations. You can have those conversations with a weekly podcast, a monthly podcast, whatever it can be about. Hey, talking to Travis Barron today from Irvine, California, and we're going to talk about the market area out there, what to look for, what's going on, the trends, things that's happening, and I can do that in all 50 states.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that, heck, we could do that around the world.
That's interesting because I was thinking about the guy I had mentioned to you who's in Idaho, and he has great videos, but they're all about Idaho.
Right.
He's kind of this solitary guy out there. I guess he's more to the consumer instead of the agent to agent. But being able to take that and bring information about different areas back into your sphere.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Exactly. So if you guys are thinking about it, start a podcast. So if you need help, feel free to DM us. We're happy to help you. Being professional and responsive.
I was thinking about this one. I want to start with mine and see if it goes anywhere near where yours is. But I think of this as a local thing. I mean, it can be larger, but I think within your own community and people that you're dealing with and the way you handle them, really, maybe it's not the referral opportunity, but it's the opportunity. So when you take care of people and you communicate well and you show that you care, and these can be in transactions or just with agents that you're dealing with around the area.
Exactly.
When something comes up, they want to deal with you.
Right.
They don't want to deal with the guy they know that's just a pain in the butt.
Exactly. When I looked at, being professional and being responsive, I'll address being responsive first. It's important to be responsive. It happens too often when you are trying to find somebody to refer out to, you don't hear back from them. They don't communicate with you. And do they just not communicate with you in the very beginning, but what's worse is, okay, so I've just given my favorite client to you to help, and it's crickets. I never hear from you about the updates of what's going on, and then we're getting information from our clients of, hey, this is what's happening, and that's the wrong direction. You want to know what's going on with the client and them before the client tells you. So you have to make sure that you've got a good open line of communication with that person or with that other agent, and that's something that has to happen in the very beginning. And then obviously being professional in everything that you're doing with them, and that's how you're handling the situation in those referrals.
Yeah, because news spreads. Whether it's good or bad,
absolutely.
News spreads. So
absolutely.
You want to be on the good side of that, where you want advocates of agents just like you want advocates of your buyers and seller clients. You want them telling other people about you, because that really begins to spread your opportunity, as opposed to them being ready to do business with you, but them opening that up to their sphere. Wow, that's when it gets powerful.
Exactly. So, last one. We want it now.
Whew, this is what I'm hearing a lot. As a matter of fact, the video I'm putting out for the agents on Thursday is directly about this, about patience, persistence, because the way the market is right now, it's a bit of a challenge. And
absolutely.
Everyone wants to know, what can I do right now? I need business right now.
And which is fair. Yeah. We do need business right now, and there's nothing wrong with asking for the business. But I always look at this. I always look at it when we are across. One of the favorite things, or one of the conversations that I have often. And no, I'm not picking on this particular person, but one of the scripts out there for door knocking that we hear often, are you thinking of moving now or anytime in the near future? And when they get the answer of no, and that whole fantastic, if you were, where would you go? And boom, they that door closes and they go to the next door, and they're looking for that immediate.
Yes.
And there is nothing wrong with looking for the immediate, but our mindset and our, there has to be that shift in the mind of, hey, I can look for the immediate right now, Travis, if we just developed a relationship and we met for the first time at an event, and I have that conversation, hey, do you know anybody that's looking to move into our area right now? And you say no, that's okay. But I also have to have something in place for, hey, how am I communicating with Travis 3 to 6 months from now, 6 to 9 months from now, 12 months on, and developing that relationship for that business in the future. It is that conversation of business now and business in the future. Yes. And too often people forget about that future. I got nothing now. Okay, boom, you become a lost cause and forgotten. But
Yep.
that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I like running them side by side. You know, you've got your long term, and then you can spend the other half of your day out there just hitting it hard.
Right.
You know, you got Tom Ferry in the morning and Mike Ferry in the afternoon.
There you go.
Hope you guys get that reference. I don't know.
I got it. Yeah. So as far as that being patient, again, it's one of these things, putting a system together and putting the
Compound
system.
effect.
Exactly. And one of the, you're a big advocate of systems. In this particular system, it's, hey, how do I break down all of these things that we talked about? And that's connecting with somebody on social media. And what is my follow-up system to them? Am I emailing them? Are they on my newsletter? Are they on my favorites on all of my social media platforms, so I see what they're doing and being able to communicate with them and respond and have those conversations whenever it makes sense for everybody.
Yeah. That's a checklist. That's a system.
Absolutely.
Because you can just have the best intentions and it so easily disappears.
Right.
You ever do that? You ever go on social media and go, really, I'm not a friend with that person? I could have swore I was a friend with that person.
That happened yesterday, as a matter of fact, to me. I was scrolling through, and I was looking, and somebody was friends with me, and I was looking, well, that's odd that I am not friends with them. I wonder how I missed that. And yeah, so I connected, and I actually sent them a note right then and there. But yeah. Anyway, anything else on this topic?
No, maybe I'll just give a picture real quick of the practicality of the literal what it should look like, right? I mean, those are all the activities and everything.
Right.
But you better have a database.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
You better be able to search it Denver or Philadelphia or whatever it is, so you can quickly get to these people that are in your network or just in town.
Correct.
If you got people that you can share information or referrals with, and then you got to work that. Yep. If they're out of the area, maybe send them the reports on housing. Hey, here's what's going on in Orange County. I know all of our areas are different.
Right.
People are looking to come this way. Here's some information on what's going on here. And just continue to work that.
I'll close with this: is don't feel the obligation to have somebody in every particular area, because if you create good, strong relationships with people in certain areas, here's your other go-to. They're going to also have a network. It happens to us often now where we're getting asked the question of, hey, do you know somebody over here? And I don't, but I know a really good agent that has got a hookup or has a connection over there, and the relationship is so good that boom, I contact the person that I've got a relationship with and say, hey, who's good over here and who do you have a relationship with?
Yeah,
and then they
good.
put us together, and then that gets passed down. So it's not always having to know everybody everywhere, but if you know the good enough key people in enough areas, you're able to develop that network that way.
Love it.
All right. So, any questions, any comments? Drop them in the comments. Any questions, drop them in the comments, because that first time I said it made no sense to even me. Please like and subscribe, and work on the network.
Build a fantastic network.
Go out there and work on the network. And please let us know what else you'd like us to talk about. I think that's important. Yeah.